This will be the third part of our video in section 3.6. This is theorem 311. It's called the perpendicular transversal theorem. It tells you if a transversal, that's this one, is perpendicular to one of two parallel lines, notice how it's perpendicular to this one, then it's perpendicular to the other. So if this transversal is perpendicular to this line that's parallel to this one, then it's going to be perpendicular to this one also. Using this, can you show that you get the same thing down here? Okay, well, let's talk about it. If these are perpendicular, that means that's 90. And if these lines are parallel, wouldn't this corresponding angle match this one? So it's also going to be 90. And if this angle is 90, what do you know about these two lines? They're perpendicular. So that would be a really simple proof of this theorem. Theorem 312 is very similar to the one we just proved. It's called lines perpendicular to a transversal theorem. In a plane, if two lines, that's these two, are perpendicular to the same line, then that means they're parallel to each other. Well, if two lines are perpendicular, that means you get a 90-degree angle. And notice how these two angles are the same. What do you know about lines when your corresponding angles are the same? You know that the lines are parallel. We're going to determine whether each of these is true or false. And what they do is they give you some perpendicular lines. So line OP, that is this green one. It's perpendicular to line MN. So if they're perpendicular, you can actually go through and do this. Hopefully you do it better than I do. Putting these little marks here to indicate that those lines are perpendicular. Also, line NP, that's this vertical one, it's perpendicular to line QS. So same deal. You can go through and put these marks if you want. Now, true or false? Is angle PRN an acute angle? Here's P, here's R, here's N. Is that angle acute? That's a right angle. So this number one is false. Number two, angle 4 and angle 8 are congruent. That's true. They're both 90-degree angles, but furthermore, they're vertical angles. So they're definitely congruent. Number three, measure of angle 5 plus the measure of angle 6 equals 90. Yeah, that's that theorem that we just talked about. If you have two adjacent acute angles and their non-shared sides are perpendicular, then they're complementary. That's true. That's theorem. Oh goodness, I don't even remember the number now. Guess we can go back and look. 310. Number 4. Segment QR is perpendicular to segment PR. Do these make a right angle? Definitely not. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 5? Definitely. They're vertical again. Number 6. Angle 7 is obtuse. Definitely. Number 7. Measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle MRP plus the measure of angle 5 equals 180. If it helps you, you can redraw the picture. So angle 1, angle MRP, and angle 5, these three angles right here, they make that line. So that's true. We don't necessarily know their measures, but we know together they have to add up to 180.